What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda. How are we, my fellow champions? I hope we're all in good form. Pleasure to be here with you as always, as we have, well, a hell of a lot to get through tonight. The vibes are good heading towards the summer transfer window. Harvey's kicking off in the kitchen there. He's obviously seen a cat. Listen. He times it perfectly, doesn't he, Harvey? Soon as he knows I'm starting the stream, he's like, nah, I'm outside. Get me outside. Oh, gotta let him out. So he's out there now. I hope we're all having a great day, and I hope the hangovers, if indeed you're nursing one, are as minimal as possible. I do appreciate you all coming in, and I am a man of my word. The Craig eating a piece of broccoli video is up, as I promised. Now, I just want to clarify something. I always said I would eat a piece of broccoli, and it was on a plate. So, semantics and all that, but I did what I said I'd do, and I'm never going to do it again, ever, because it was as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I get there's an irony in fat man not wanting to eat broccoli, but honestly, that was my Mount Everest, and we conquered it, so it's done. Hope you enjoyed the video, you sadistic gits. Loads for us to get through today, and again, we're going to talk about the summer transfer window, which really is looking to be a big one, according to many reports. We're going to be speaking about some of the behind-the-scenes stuff from yesterday and the celebrations. We're going to give you some of the numbers. We're going to ask again, why is Trent and his brother, flirting, shall we say, with the Liverpool fan base, or playing with their heart. So we're going to go through that, and we've got some really exciting stuff coming out in the late night video as well around potential destinations for certain players. So loads to get through today. It's been a busy day. Thankfully, I don't have a hangover because I don't drink, so I'm okay today. But I do have right beside me a gigantic trophy, a big, massive Premier League trophy. You may have seen it if you watch the broccoli video, but I've got it here beside me, and I will show it to you guys in a little while. I know it's not quite the nipples, but, it's the next best thing and all that. So, look, I don't know where to kick off tonight, because genuinely there is a whole ton of stuff to go through. Shall we kick off with a really cool stat, actually, for tonight? This comes in from a gentleman called George Trad, or the George Trad on X. And it said, this is the greatest stat in the history of the Premier League. Let him lift the trophy. Give him a 10-year deal. What a fella. And it is about Endo. And, well, the amount of stats he gets per game versus... or the amount of fouls he gets per game, versus the yellow cards. On average, if you were to average out Endo's contributions on the pitch and fouls, he commits 8 per 90 minutes, according to the stats, but with 0 yellow cards. So Endo just out there doing Endo things and getting away with it. So there you go. Endo, hero. We knew that, though. We knew that already, but I thought it was a fun one to kick us off tonight. What a super chat to kick us off with. 20 times Liverpool, 20 times I say. By the way, thank you to everyone who's reached out. So many messages, so many emails from people all around the world celebrating and just wanting to feel and share the love. It was a very strange night for me last night, because I was working away. I finished work, and then I felt like an emptiness and a numbness. And I was sitting there, and I said to my wife, am I broken? Like, what's wrong with me? It just didn't feel real. The whole day, everything, I just was in work mode all the way through. But when I sat back last night, feed up and start watching the highlights, match of the day too, and all the other bits and pieces, it really did hit home just what the Reds have achieved. And I want to say as well, you often hear me having a go with the likes of Sky Sports or whatever, but I thought the coverage of Liverpool's trophy or triumph yesterday was exquisite all across the board. I think Sky did a great job with the packages and the content they put out around it. The club, of course, did a magnificent job. Match of the Day did a great job as well. So I just want to say well done, because it was a huge night for Liverpool Football Club, and I think the media actually stepped up and did what we all wanted. So well done to everybody in that regard. Right, one more quick super chat. John said, hey Craig, feels great to be champions. It does, and I've got so much to get through tonight. Some quotes from the likes of Alexis Mac Allister, and just when I thought I couldn't love that man anymore, there he is once again. But as you can see in the bottom right hand corner, we are being brought to you tonight with thanks to our incredible sponsor, Surfshark. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without them. So I'm going to play you a little Surfshark ad, but don't worry, that's the only one we're playing tonight, and then we'll be back and we'll get stuck into the news. So do not go anywhere, because I have a lot of stuff to get through. This video is sponsored by Surfshark, the best VPN on the market. Surfshark is an app or browser extension that allows you to change your location to access websites in other countries and keep you safe from hackers. For example, we here in Ireland can access other countries' Netflix libraries, streaming services such as DAZN in Spain for those all-important Premier League games. Surfshark keeps you safe and private by protecting everything you do online. When your device connects to the internet, all that information is, in a way, blurred out. Surfshark is particularly useful for keeping you safe if you use public Wi-Fi, such as a college or a cafe. Surfshark allows you to use one subscription on unlimited devices, meaning that you can even share an account with friends and family. On top of this, Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you don't like it, you can even get your money back. Our sign-up offer gives you Surfshark VPN for just over €2 per month and up to 4 months free. Why not scan the QR code on screen or use the link in the description to take advantage of this offer. And we are back, and as promised, let's get straight into the news. I want to take you through some quotes, if I may, from Alexis Mac Allister, because this one hit me right in the feels, and I want to read out to you what Alexis was having to say about his time at Liverpool and what it means to him. This is what Alexis Mac Allister had to say on that regard. He said, "I never forget where I've come from a family that taught me the value of hard work, from dreams born as an Irish surname and a truly Argentinian heart." I mean, he's got me on board straight away, bigging up the Irish. He said, "And from today, Liverpool, it writes an unforgettable chapter. When I joined this club, I knew it was a special place. But what I've experienced this year has gone beyond anything I ever imagined. Every training session, every match, every time I stepped onto the pitch at Anfield, I felt the weight of this shirt and the passion of a unique fan base. It took hard work, commitment, giving everything in a moment, because wearing this shirt isn't just for anyone, and because I've dreamt of this since I was a boy. Today, lifting the Premier League with Liverpool is a dream come true, one that began many years ago and today becomes a reality. Thank you to my family, who were always there. Thank you to the club for believing in me. Thank you to football for giving me so much. And thank you to all of you for making it eternal. This is Liverpool. This is what it means to be champions." What a man. Honestly, lads, what a man. That one really hit home. I love Alexis Mac Allister, and that's just made me love the man even more. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. What a fella. So let me know what you think about that one and what your favourite comments were from players throughout the day. Ash said, "If you sell 5 players, what 5 players are you buying?" Right, so I'm gonna play this game. I'm gonna leave the super chat up, Ash, and I'm gonna play this game for a minute. So let's sell 5, buy 5. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna leave out right back, because we still don't know for definite what's happened there, although we think we do. So we'll leave that out of the way for a minute. So I'm selling Kwanzaa and I'm replacing him with Hoyson. So that's 1. I'm selling Costas and I'm replacing him with Kirkes. That's 2. I'm selling Darwin and I'm replacing him with, in an ideal world, Julian Alvarez. In midfield, it looks like there's going to be a Harvey Elliott sale. So I've got to be upfront about that and say, if Elliott was to move on, who would I bring in there? Again, in an ideal world, probably Morgan Rogers. And let me give you one more. And I'm trying not to cop out. So let's say Luis Diaz moves on. Again, something that's been spoken about, but not something that I'm hoping happens. So if he moves on, then let's say, who would I want on the left side of attack? Realistically, I'd love somebody like a Nico Williams, but, that's off the top of my head, Ash, what I'm thinking. But, I'd also like to talk about not having to sell players and bringing players in, and we will do that in a moment. Petter, I want to really quickly just address your comment, mate, that I seen a minute ago and I meant to come back to. Petter, our Chelsea fan friend, nothing to apologise for, my man. I think we just both butted heads on that day and it was a misunderstanding. Your sincerity is never in question, my man, so don't worry about that, and I appreciate your comment. Right. Kesh said, 20 dreams are taking flight, 20 reasons to shine so bright, 20 cheers for all you've done, 20 ways to shout, we've won. Chat got the memo. You'll never walk alone. Hope you're well, Craig. Thank you, Kesh, for that lovely little poem as well. I hope I didn't butcher it too much. But yeah, man, appreciate you. Yeah, I didn't get much sleep last night, as you can imagine. Like many other Liverpool fans, I was just taking everything in. Post from Jurgen Klopp as well, which I'm sure you guys seen, said, super grateful for the past, super happy about the present, and extremely positive about the future. Congratulations, and you'll never walk alone, said Kloppo. What else we got? Arne Slot. So Paul Joy said that since last July, Arne Slot and assistant Sipka Hulshoff privately believed usurping Manchester City was not an impossible task and never shied away from the standards that were required. Love that. Love that. And to be fair, I loved when he admitted yesterday that he knew he'd won the league title a while ago. I love that about Arne. Right, Sonny Hughes said, do you have any idea where the bus parade route will be? I'm planning on going with my grandparents and younger brother. I absolutely do. Let me bring this information up for you. Now look, this is Paul Joyce's information because I ain't a journalist, but I do have the answer for you. So, for anybody that's thinking of going to Liverpool for the parade, it is now confirmed and official when and where that parade will be. So, as per Paul Joyce, Liverpool will have a victory parade for the club's 20th title success in the city on Bank Holiday Monday, May 26th. So, it is confirmed it will be the day after the last game of the season, Monday, May 26th. Now, before we move on to the specifics of it, if you're going to be in the city, why not make a weekend of it and come and see Anfield Agenda live at the Hotwater Comedy Club, Blackstock Market, May 25th, and then you'll have the trophy presentation, then you'll have the parade the next day. But to get back to Sonny's question, the parade begins, or the bus parade or the bus route will begin at 2:30 in the afternoon at Allerton Maze. So that's Allerton Maze. And will finish on Blundell Street and is expected to last between 3 and 5 hours. So once again, it starts at 2:30 at Allerton Maze and finishes on Blundell Street or Blundell Street, whichever way it's pronounced, and is expected to last 3 to 5 hours. So there you go, my man. Hope that answers the question. And again, credit Paul Joyce, who's the one that posted that up. So, want to see the trophy? Do we want to see the trophy? Do we want to see it? Go on, let me know. Do we want to see the trophy? Because she's here beside me. She's coming to Liverpool with us for the 2 live shows. You can get your photos with her at the shows as well, if you would like. Is this info on Twitter? I'm sure it is, my man. I'm sure you won't struggle to find the information. It's only gone up in the last hour or two, but yes, it'll do the rounds. Right. Let me just move my mic away so I don't hit it for 1 second. Here she is. Now, obviously, you can't. The yellow will be a bit blurry because green screen and all, but there she is, as promised. One big, dirty, delicious Premier League trophy. And that will be coming to Liverpool with us for the 2 live shows. We've even ordered a full-size Champions League one for the future as well. But there you go. It's here. It's arrived safe and sound. And it will be coming to Liverpool with us for the 2 shows. So there you go. Can't wait. Buzzing. So happy when it arrived today. It was been in Ireland for a few days and I was nervous, but it made its way to Anfield Agenda HQ today. That's a big 70-inch trophy. Yeah, Leslie, I definitely said 77 centimetres, though, didn't I? No, I said 77 inches, mate, you're right. But look, I do normally lie about size. So there you go. So yeah, there it is. She's coming with us, as promised, and I hope you got enjoyment out of the broccoli video earlier as well. Because genuinely, I'm not going to lie. I said before I did the video to my wife, I'm going to try not to gag. I'm going to try and make this like it was no problem. Everything that you've seen in that video was sincere. I tried not to gag. I really didn't want to. I want to make it look easy. But it wasn't. It was as horrible as I was expecting it to be, unfortunately. And thank you to everyone in the comments for being so gracious and kind. It was a very easy fat man eats broccoli joke in there and all, but thank you. Right. So let's talk an agreement that looks like it's in place for Carlo Ancelotti in Brazil. Fabrizio Romano confirms that Ancelotti in Brazil have reached an agreement in principle and they'll become the new coach in June and heading for the 2026 World Cup. So we can say that one for sure. Paul Summerfield, trophy parade, same date as 2005. There you go. Didn't know that one, Paul, but happy days. I love a little bit of a synchronicity like that one. So here we go. Right, let's get stuck into some actual news now. Let's talk Darwin for a minute, shall we? So this coming from Spain says Liverpool have informed Darwin Nunez that he is not part of their plans ahead of next season. Nottingham Forest and Atletico Madrid are best positioned to sign him, and his asking price is apparently 35 to 40 million pound. Now, am I wrong in saying that Liverpool rejected 60 million pound from Saudi in the summer? Now, to be fair, when I spoke with a journalist maybe 3 months ago, maybe, I was told the price tag was lower than that offer, by the way, that came in from Saudi. I was told at the time Liverpool would take 40 million and they'd bite your hand off for 50 million for Darwin. So that number today sounds more realistic to the number that I was told initially a few months back. But it also didn't go unnoticed today that Darwin Nunez posted to say, delighted to win my first Premier League trophy, ... And then lots of comments going, your first, mate? You mean your last Premier League trophy? Because obviously it does look like Darwin's heading towards the Anfield exit. Hope Ibu stays. Well, let's move on to speak about him then. So, Paul Joyce said this: Liverpool want Ibrahima Konate to commit his future to the club. So it certainly isn't that the club don't want Ibu to stay. So it looks as if Liverpool are going to make that play to keep him. Don't take it for granted that it's 100% done, because it isn't. But again, the intention there from the club is that they want to keep Ibrahima Konate. Obviously, why wouldn't they? His partnership with Virgil van Dijk has only grown as the season's gone on, and they've only gotten better together, as a partnership and that understanding. So no surprise to learn that the Reds want to keep them. But the one that really just made us all kind of fall off our seats today is, let me get this comment for you, because this is just sensational. This comes from Phil McNulty and said, Liverpool will go into overdrive this summer with a recruitment team under sporting director Richard Hughes, well on with preparations at heavyweight reinforcements. But there's an even bolder one than that. 1 second. Where's this one? Sorry, I'm trying to go through my notes to get the right one here for you. So, David Ornstein said, if you're a player in the market looking at the possibility of joining Liverpool, your eyes will probably light up. And here it is. Lewis Steele's comment is the one that I was looking for. Arne Slot will be backed with a big transfer budget this summer, and the club is expected to spend big to capitalise on the success. They want a left back, a central defender and a forward, while a midfielder could also be on the menu. Others have said that this is going to be one of the biggest transfer windows in Liverpool's history with regards to money. Lewis Steele's also said nothing is officially signed regarding Trent Alexander-Arnold's future. So again, lots to unpack there. We'll talk about Milos Kerkez in a little while, but I want to just go back to the chat and catch up with you all. Right, what have we got? What do you think John W. Henry said to Trent, said Trey? Well, there was a post that was apparently to do with a lip reader that read it, and there was something along the lines of do the right thing or something like that. But I don't know what John W. Henry said to Trent. Honestly, I don't know. But if yesterday doesn't convince Trent to stay, I don't think anything is going to convince him, because they were wonderful scenes yesterday. In front of the Kop, players linking arms, manager centre circle singing the Arne/Jurgen Klopp song. If that doesn't make him stay, I don't know what will. But I'm a little bit frustrated by his brother posting on the Instagram with the banners are ready in case you need to retire your jersey. Now, I know that that's part of a song or something, but again, it just feels like just toying with emotions. So please just come out and say what you're going to do very soon so everybody can move on and move forward. We did a poll last night on the channel and we asked everybody what they think is going to happen. And it was much closer than before. I think it was 53% of people said that they believe Trent will leave and 47% think he'll stay. That's crept up a lot from the other day when it was about 79% saying he's going. I'm still in the he's going camp. I've not heard anything from a credible source to say otherwise. But again, we do have to just wait and see. That highlight, though, or that comment from David Ornstein is one that really catches my eye. If you're a player in the market looking at the possibility of joining Liverpool, your eyes will probably light up. Either they're going to spend big this summer or they have just painted themselves into a massive corner, because there's no way of not going out there and spending big dough now. So many journalists writing about the possibility of Liverpool having a huge summer. Where's this one from? Unnamed journalist. So I don't know if I'm allowed to say his name from him or not, because he gets very touchy about it, but I think you know who I'm speaking about here. And he said, having largely kept his counsel in his first days on the job, Slot took the brave decision to single out a player who he had been enthusiastically praising while out on the pitch. Showing a clip back to back up his point, the Dutchman asked whether his compliments had led to a player failing to run with the required intensity during a later drill, before firmly reminding everybody present of their responsibility to give 100% at all times. So again, saying Arne Slot's not afraid to call people out, make bold decisions, and that is what I'm expecting him to do this summer, make those bold decisions. And some of them will be decisions that are probably unpalatable to you and I, but if the manager gets the players he wants, then like I've always said, it'll be on him to succeed or fail. Andrew Webb said, what players would you like to see come in the summer? Hashtag number 20. Look, Kirkes. Kirkes and Huijsen are two names that I think all of us would probably like to see. Hatto was another interesting name. We're going to talk about Hincapié tonight as his release clause is being revealed, so we'll talk about that in the later video. It's up top that I'm really struggling. We know the club have looked at Hugo Ekitike and looked at him quite a bit, but I don't know if they think the numbers make sense there, and I really don't. I'm being honest, I have no idea who to expect as a central striker. If there's any indication that Alvarez is available, I think Liverpool would maybe look to push, but I would say hang off for an Ornstein or somebody else, or a Mano or somebody else to give you that information, because I'm a little bit stumped to try and figure out who I think that one's going to be. Let me know your thoughts, though. Do you think it's going to be an Ekitike, or do you think we've got somebody else on the radar? Truly, I don't know. Jonathan Veneraut said, Craig, I'm just going to say it. We're signing Alvarez. Well, look, with the links again to Atleti and Darwin, I'm wondering, it would be, in my opinion, an exquisite piece of business for Liverpool if we could get in Julian Alvarez. But again, I'm just not going to sit here and say that it's going to happen, because I don't know. I don't know, but I'm really excited for the summer window. And I hope to God we're not going to feel let down, because, if things go as it's been written, we could be in for a fun few years, ladies and gentlemen. And with the right positions sorted this summer, the Reds are going to be set to challenge properly for 3-4 years to come, and I'm very excited about it. Craig, do you expect us to do business in the mini window, or do we leave it late? Very interesting question. I would think it's more likely we'll sell in that little mini window, and let me try and explain to you where I'm getting this thought process from. So we know that there are clubs that are going to be playing in the Club World Cup, as an example, and that takes place from the 15th of June. So I would imagine some of the Saudi clubs or others may want to do business early to get those players in, because that's the whole point of that little mini window there. So I would say the potential of a sale or two in that window is probably more likely than somebody coming in. But again, don't rule out somebody coming in. I'm just thinking out loud there, really, and that would be what I would expect. The quicker we can move out the players that either want out themselves or that Arne Slot doesn't really trust, then the quicker we can get the business done with regards to incoming. So, yeah, I would certainly think one or two out in the early part would be my guess. By the way, thank you to everyone that is joining us. We've got 2,600 people in the chat, and I hope that you all celebrated accordingly yesterday. Do let me know some of the innovative ways that maybe you celebrated and where in the world you were celebrating. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please do. We really would appreciate your support on that, and we'd love you to hit the like button as well. Petter said, Craig, how will you expect Arne Slot and the players to approach the remaining games? It's a really good question. In an ideal world, Petter, I would like Liverpool to rotate quite heavily. I would like to see Elliott given more time, Chiesa given more time, maybe young Rio given some minutes. I would like another look at Kwanzaa if possible. Yeah, just things like that, really. There's no point in us trying to overwork our players now. Like, you want to be professional and you want to be competitive for the last 4 games, but at this point, I can't speak for every Liverpool fan, but the last game of the season at home, that's got to be won, right? You get the trophy that day. It's got to be won. You got to do it inside Anfield. So that one, I'm okay about. Chelsea, this is the one I'm unsure about, because obviously we're going to get a guard of honour at Stamford Bridge on Sunday. I don't know what to expect with regards to team selection, how strong. See, I'd hate for anyone to pick up an injury, but I also like the idea of giving them an extended summer where possible. So, tough one, but I would say he'll probably go strong. That would be my guess. Andrew. Oh, I think I have a couple more through, have I? Yeah, Chris Tat Music. Sorry, Chris, I nearly forgot your one. Craig, man, how are we? Fair play, you're a man of your word. I was out yesterday, spent today watching your content, still buzzing, up the Reds. Thank you, Chris. I was just loving seeing the scenes from Liverpool yesterday. And I mean outside the stadium, around the city, box parks, fan parks, all the places where people were congregating yesterday. It was incredible. It was incredible to see the release inside Anfield. It was incredible to see the players celebrating, and it was so incredible and respectful to see that nobody invaded the pitch as well. Just let Arne Slot and the lads celebrate in style out there on the pitch and soak it all in. So yeah, and Alison Becker with tears streaming down his face is something that's going to stay with me for a long time as well. It was just so many beautiful moments around there yesterday. Andrew Webb, thank you, Andrew, for your super chat. Said, do you think Victor Gyökeres could be a target for Liverpool, and where do you think he could end up? I know for a fact he won't be a target for Liverpool, as I've been saying for months and months. 100% not on our radar, 100% not going to be looked at. Too old and hasn't been challenged enough in a top league. That's the feedback that I received when I inquired about him from multiple people. So yeah, I would say no chance. Where does he end up? Could depend on how much money Arsenal spend elsewhere, whether he ends up there. Maybe if United lose out on Delap, which I believe they will, as I think he's off to Chelsea, we'll maybe see a bid there for him from United. But truthfully, I don't know, but I feel very confident to say it won't be Liverpool. Stevie boy, does a big summer transfer window mean 50 million net spend? Again, mate, I don't know. I'm just letting the journalists write what they're writing, letting people talk about what they're talking, and sitting back and trying to observe it, Stevie boy. But like I've always said, I don't mind what the net spend number is, as long as the business is clear that it's an upgrade. So, it would be very unfair of me if Liverpool brought in a ridiculous amount of money for a player that they want to move on, and that was spent on a player that's a clear upgrade, and me not to say good business. So, yes, like yourself, I'm expecting them to put their money where their mouth is. And I would say, for me, a good transfer window would be breaking the net spend from what we've done previously, which I believe was the season where we brought in Gravenberch and all. I think it was about 90 mil, if I'm not mistaken. But we have 2 windows where we've probably turned a profit in as well. So I'm still in the I'll believe it when I see it. Transfer policy has always been spend a low amount. Liverpool will probably spend more money in key areas, just not all over the pitch. Sorry, I hope I brought that one up on screen, but I'll bring it up there now while I answer you. Again, hard to know. Like, I never want to see Liverpool just spend money for the sake of it. Like, we've always tried to make that point here that whilst we want the pressure on John and the owners to spend, I don't want us to be pissing money up against the wall. The money has to be spent correctly and on the right players. And to be fair, more often than not, when we do act, we've acted and brought in players that have done a job. So I'm willing to see what happens. But again, if it looks as if we're getting fobbed off again, I'll be speaking up front and honestly about that as well. But I want to try to be fair, as I always try to be. I don't want to just... I'm not a hater for the sake of hating. Like I said, I'd love to come on here and not have to talk about FSG whatsoever. I'd love them to give the manager the tools to do his job properly. And I think and I hope that Arne has showed them that he's worth putting that trust in now. He's delivered. He's brought a league title. Now they need to back him, or I think very quickly people will start to say, same old, same old. But I do think we're going to have an interesting window. Whether that's us ending up with a £300 million net spend, look, I probably doubt that. But if we do sort out every area that needs addressing, and have an eye to some young talent coming through as well, like the likes of Rio, Trainioni, I'm okay with that. The big thing for me is keep the core of the squad together, because I don't think we succession plan properly for Virgil and Mo. Now we've time to do that. If you bring in Huijsen, you could very well say, well, that's your Virgil replacement moving forward long term. And then bring in another centre-back at that point, but you've at least got the generational type one, if you get me. So yeah, I'm willing to see what happens, but like your good self, unsure what to spend, what they will spend. I've never seen you more disgusted than when you ate broccoli. I wasn't joking. Like, it's hard to describe. There are certain things that make me just gag and can't. Like whiskey. I can't drink whiskey. It makes me gag. Broccoli, it'd be the same thing. That's the first time I've eaten broccoli since I was a child. And I remember gagging when I was a child eating it. So I know it seemed like a simple little fat man eats broccoli, but it was horrible. I can only just say it was horrible. I don't know how anybody eats it. It's like eating leaves off a tree. It's disgusting. Hey Craig, I made a tune about Liverpool winning the league. Could you please share it? It would be highly appreciated. I don't know where you want me to share it. I mean, we can post it in the community tab, but if you want it on socials or anything, email it to us or send it to Connor and we'll see what we can do. But yeah, of course, we're always happy to try and highlight some creativity where possible, because heaven knows I don't have any, and I mean that sincerely. Whiskey tastes like mouthwash. I hate it. I hate it, mate. I hate whiskey, gin, cabbage, broccoli. Just certain things just really do make me gag. My wife has a really weird one. Custard. She can't be around custard. And I don't mean eat it. She can't even be there. If I opened, when you get one of the cartons of like Bird's custard and you open it and you pour it onto something, that makes her gag. She won't even be in the room if I'm doing that. I always find these fascinating, what different things do towards different people. Was the broccoli as bad as expected? So the first 3 or 4 bites, no, it wasn't too bad. But then it hits and the juice starts going down the throat. And then the more I chewed it, because remember, I hate chewing food as well, but I didn't want to pussy out of it. Normally, I don't like the texture of chewed food because, I don't know, I just don't like the texture of mushy chewed food. So I did want to just take 1 or 2 bites and swallow it, because that would have been a cop-out. So there was 2 things involved in that for me. There was the Craig doesn't like chewing food too much, and that disgusting, horrible taste. But yeah, there we go. Right, look, loads more news to get through. Let's talk Chris Bascombe. An issue with Milos Kerkez is his current valuation, said Chris Bascom. Liverpool are reluctant to overpay for a left-back as they're looking for a player to share the workload with Andy Robertson, not necessarily relegating to backup status. See, that worries me straight away because 40 million is the price for Kerkez, and 40 million seems like a fair price to me. Now, of course, you're always going to want to try and get the best deal you can. But I certainly hope we don't cheap out and walk away from the player that is number one on the list because of a few extra million. And look, we've been spoiled as a club with fullbacks. We've been very fortunate. The right-sided situation, Bradley and Trent, both came through the system, didn't cost that. On the left side, we paid a combined £21 million or something for Costas and Robbo. So, sometimes you just have to pay for what you have to pay for. And if we need to pay 40 million and Arna singled them out, then we best not start cheaping out already because this is position number one we're dealing with. So this is what I'm talking about with the mixed messaging at times. Oh, huge window going to happen. Expect Liverpool to break records, but also they don't want to spend huge on a left back. This could be, again, the club saying, we have other options. We don't want to be held to ransom. It's tough to get a read on it. There are other options. Jurel Haddo would, of course, be one that's been mentioned many times, but that is a worrying little bit of news for me from Chris Bascom. But again, doesn't mean Liverpool won't get their player. Maybe this is a negotiating tactic, but I certainly hope this isn't another one of those that we drag it out. There's no excuse. It's Richard Hughes' former club. He certainly should have a line of communication to the player's agent. As I mentioned before, I think it was more Andoni Iraola that was responsible for bringing him in. But again, let's wait and see. I couldn't find the broccoli video. I don't know what you want me to do with that one, Eddie. It's on the shorts list and it's on X. I'm not sure if it's on TikTok, but it's 100% up there, my man. I promise you, it's on our feed. Just click under the shorts and you'll probably see it there. But it is up there. I promise you, dude. Love Adam Wharton. That's a really good shout. He was fantastic, by the way, against Aston Villa for Crystal Palace. I thought he was absolutely sensational. The last thing I'd heard about him was that Manchester City wanted him, but this was gone back a year ago. And they said that they were willing to wait for this summer to come in to try and sign him. But again, I don't want to say we're going in for him, and I don't know that we are, but I agree with you that he's a very good player. Craig, unnamed journalist, said that he wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool backed out of the Kerkez deal due to his price. He said, we really like ENQUIRIES, sounds like a cheap FSG again. If they do this on player number one, mate, everything else is being undermined. If he's the target, you go after the target. Again, it's a key position for us. And whatever they say about not wanting to replace Robertson, I see there's one thing neglected to be mentioned in that, which is he has 1 year on his deal. So whatever they talk about Andy Robertson has 1 more year to go on his Liverpool contract. So they want to start looking for it because who knows what way he's going to be next season. And I'm all for Robbo staying around and competing with Kerkez or whomever it is. But we can't start this crap already. And these journalists can't start it either. Because, you can't tell everybody that's going to be a huge window and that Liverpool are going to go big. And then as soon as we get near it, start saying, oh, well, too much money for this player. Just fucking pay it. Just pay it. Pay what needs to be paid. Get the players the manager wants and stop being cheap. That's my answer to all of this. And to any journalist that starts helping the club try to backtrack, well, I think you know what's going to happen. I'm going to be vocal. They're going to threaten me with the police. They're going to blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to tell them all to go fuck themselves because I don't care what they say. Do your job. And the job in this case is, it's very clear Liverpool want Kerkez. It's an open secret. Everybody knows it. Madrid are looking at him. Others are looking at him. We have an ace up our sleeve with Dominic Szoboszlai and Richard Hughes. And if we're not willing to utilise that, then what's the point? What's the point, honestly? Bournemouth are within their rights to ask for 40 million quid for him because he's their player. Liverpool spent a year sussing out who they wanted. So get it done or move on. And when I mean move on, I mean leave. What's the point? Get it done. Arthur Smith said, my dream window, in Alvarez, Hoyson, Kirkes, Gordon, out, Nunez, Jota, Chimikas, Kwanzaa, Endo and Chiesa, but I think Slot will have him sold. Do you know what? It's a pretty good window, Arthur, and I think one that I'd certainly be really happy with. Alvarez, Hoyson, Kirkes, Gordon, with the ones that you've put out, I think that's realistic. But I wonder what's going to happen with Luis Diaz. There is, again, some conversations around Diogo Jota and interest in him from the Saudi Pro League, so keep an eye on that one as well. Sorry, I'm just going through some more notes. What's this one? Again, Liverpool will go into overdrive this summer with a recruitment team under sporting director Richard Hughes well on preparations to add heavyweight reinforcements. So this is the dichotomy that I can't figure out. Heavyweight reinforcements, Liverpool going to spend big. David Ornstein saying Liverpool, players looking at Liverpool, their eyes will light up basically. Well, then what's the problem? Why are we already getting the propaganda brigade? And by the way, it's no coincidence that the two journalists today who've already started to try measure expectations are, well, two journalists, shall we say, that cover the club's patch and have never really been critical of the owners. So not surprised at all to see the usual suspects doing the usual suspect things. But again, it's on us as fans, all of us, to hold the club to account. And to hold these people to account. Because if you don't want to be in any way critical of the club, just admit that you're the club's PR team and part of the club, because nobody will have any faith in you. And don't come running to me when hate comes into your inboxes, by the way, because I'm getting fed up of that. And I don't mean you guys in the chat, I mean these journalists. I'm getting fed up of it. Stop sending people over to us. I send nobody anywhere. Might it be possible that people just are sick of your bullshit and are sick of being misled and are sick of people fluffing the owners? Speak up. Do your job. You're supposed to be a Liverpool fan as well as journalist. Do your job. Hey Craig, thanks for responding to the super chat. Oh, always, my man, always. I hate the thoughts of anybody spending their hard-earned money and me missing it. So yeah, I appreciate your kindness, but mate, thank you. Anyway, the rest of your comment. You said, I have an issue with speculation replacing Robbo. I don't believe replacing him after a poor end of the season. How many times have players been poor and found good form next year? I don't believe Robbo's going. I've always believed it was Costas that was going to go for various reasons. One, he'll bring us in more money. Two, Robbo's better. And three, if we're bringing through a younger left back to come in, well, it makes sense then to have that senior old pro there as well. So I fully expect Andy Robertson to be at the club next year, along with whomever the club sign. Muckrab said, Craig, no mainstream media will call out the journalists if they lie. Also, how many players in and out in a big window? Well, look, I don't know what we class mainstream media as anymore, but I'll use my platform. That's all I can say. I'll use my platform to say what I think needs to be said. And I will do it across all of our platforms, and I will do it emphatically, and I will urge others to do the same. But, you know, I think it's only fair that we give the club a chance to start doing the business first before I or anybody else becomes critical of something that hasn't happened yet. You know, I want to try and be fair about it, but I'm getting fed up of it though. You know, the same people. And then they cry arse about, oh, why am I getting hate in my comments? Oh. They don't understand. I don't understand the mindset here. You can't have a foot in both camps. You can't be wanting to be in the content world, flirting on YouTube, and also being an apologist for the club's owners. It doesn't work. You can't have both. You plant your foot in one camp or the other. So if you want to be an apologist for the club, well, then you're going to get some crap coming your way. It's that simple. And don't come cry arsing to me about it, because people are fed up of you having a foot in both camps. That's my message to some of these journalists. And I use the term journalist very loosely, because real journalists, your Miguel Delaney's of this world, are out there doing proper football journalism. Henry, what's his face? Henry, sorry. I can't believe I've forgotten his name. He deserves better than me forgetting his name, to be fair to him. Henry Winter, another fine journalist. Like, there are many great football journalists out there, but you know the ones that I talk about. I complain about the ones that cover the patch. The ones that either used to work for the club, have connections to people still working inside the club, and are reliant on the club for their living. So basically spout any old shite that the club want them to. Now, look, some of them do question some of the stuff that they get sent, but again, do your job. Do your job. It's that simple. They're making you their fall guy. They can make me the fall guy all they want. I don't care. It's as simple as that. I have nothing personal against any one of these. Except the Echo. That's personal. I won't even lie. That's fucking personal. And that's personal because they've gone out of their way to ignore our channel. And never, like, they'll highlight any other Liverpool outlet. Never mention Anfield Agenda. So it is personal with the Echo. And I won't hide that. But they're so irrelevant that it kind of doesn't matter either. The Liverpool Prophet said, Craig, shame about Cunha. Really liked him, but just seems, even though he's going to have a good summer, he's not a player for Slaughter the club are interested in signing. All I know is the United stories with Cunha. You know, I'll be honest as well, if I was Arne Slot, I'd have concerns about Cunha. You know, you couldn't not. You know, we've already got a guy, Darwin Nunez, who was a bit of a hothead, and to be fair to him, after his red card, certainly hasn't repeated that. So you don't want to bring in another one that maybe leaves you down to 10 men in a Champions League game or an important league game at home and then suspended for 3. So I understand it. If you add in the £62 million price tag, there's probably better value elsewhere. It will be clubs like United who have an attraction, but aren't really in the top bracket. I think that's the type of club where I'm going to see Cunha go in. And what I mean top bracket is, you know, United might not even be in Europe next season. Certainly won't be challenging for the Premier League trophy. So I think that's the type of club where you probably see Cunha go. Still an upgrade on where he's at, but not a super team like Liverpool that are going to try to win the Champions League or the Premier League. As much as I wouldn't have minded him, by the way, he's a good footballer, I can understand why the club are perhaps taking a wide berth. Pranav said, Craig, how about 50 million plus Darwin for Alvarez if Atleti want him? And also, if you had to sign one of Baleba and Wharton. I'd probably go with Wharton, but Baleba's a cracking player as well. The homegrown aspect of Wharton would probably just tip me in that direction. But Carlos Baleba's a cracking player. The price tag I'd seen before mentioned around his name was about 100 million quid, which is ridiculous. And what was the first part? What you've said there for Alvarez seems fine to me. And if that happened, I'd take it. You know? If I sat here and said bringing in Julian Alvarez and getting rid of Darwin Nunez isn't an upgrade, I'd be a liar. And do I think it's worth putting 40 or 50 million pound on top of that? I probably would like a little bit more for Darwin because I value the Alvarez deal at about 90 million. 85, 90 million pounds. So I'd probably want a bit more for the Darwin side of it, but certainly would take that as a deal. Matt Denny said, what's a big transfer budget mean to FSG really? With an average net spend of 38 million a season under FSG, 50 million net spend will be regarded as huge. Again, there's going to be a lot of leaps of faith having to be taken here, Matt Denny, for the time being. So, you know, we're going to get a clear indication of this soon because the club know now that they're free to start working away. Yeah, the league's wrapped up. It's done and dusted. We've no other interests for the remainder of the season. We've got our games to play and that's it. So I think you're going to start seeing some movement and some clear indications of who's in or out soon enough. Steve, thank you for being with us, Steve, as a member for 14 months, by the way. Said, get in there. I was in Liverpool for the match yesterday. Atmosphere was beautiful in the city. Best city and club in the world, 20 times. So I've received so many posts, emails, videos from people who were at the game and all incredible. Like Chris Stonage messaged me earlier on, like he goes to most home games or a lot of the home games and he was there yesterday and he said to me, like, most emotional he's ever been at a game. And, I can only imagine it was just epic. And the result that went with it as well yesterday made it perfect. I mean, we did it the Liverpool way, of course, falling 1-0 down. But I liked what Arne Slot said. He said when the players were on the bus and they were coming to the stadium and they seen the stadium welcome and they seen everybody there to welcome the coach, he said he knew and got the feeling on that bus that there was no way that Liverpool were losing that game. Come hell or high water, no matter who was on the other end, they were not going to lose that game because of what was on it. And you could see that in the performance. We got into gear, played with some swagger, and scored some incredible goals as well. See the little plant, by the way, from Google Pixel for the Mohamed Salah goal. Watch that back, you'll see he goes straight to somebody in a Liverpool tracksuit who handed him the phone and then goes straight back. I thought it was some lucky devil in the crowd and the cop, but no, that was looking like it was a preordained thing that Salah went, grabbed the Google Pixel phone, I believe, and took the selfie. But still a really cool image, nonetheless. So, if Kirkes wasn't an option for whatever reason, is it Hato or Aït-Nouri? Who would you guys take of those two? Both of them have the ability to play in two different positions on the left side. Aït-Nouri, we would lose to the African Cup of Nations, though, which we have to keep in mind as well. But I suppose if you've got Robbo there to cover at left back for a month, that's adequate cover. I just don't want us to walk away from Kirkes, though. I think that's the obvious one. Aït-Nouri, but feels like just another trend at left back. Well, I do know that our interest in Aït-Nouri dates back quite a while. We were talking about him last year as well. Liverpool have at least been keeping tabs on him. Now, look, I don't know if that turns into a signing or not, but I don't know. I think to answer the question about Hato, I'd need to know who the centre-back is going to be. Because I don't mind us taking a young left-back risk at 18, 19 if there's a centre-back who I feel more confident that is established coming in as well, maybe beside, if Virgil needs a rest or a rotation. So I still just feel like it has to be Kirkes. TOTT2KZ1 said all aboard HMS back-to-back Prem titles. I hope so. I'm excited already for next season. It feels like it's going to be a long summer, though. It's going to be a weird end, the last month of the season now, because obviously the Prem's wrapped up for us. Next 4 games, don't know what to expect. So, yeah, let's wait and see what happens. We know we can get a potential 94 points if we won the 4 remaining games. I don't think we will win them. We've got to take the Arsenal game seriously and the last game of the season seriously. But I guess we have a duty to the Premier League when we play Chelsea, because Chelsea are in a fight for a Champions League spot, and we have a duty, I guess, to the Premier League to be professional and not throw other clubs under a bus there and put out a weakened team. But let's wait and see. And also, sorry, Petter, but I don't like Chelsea very much. So I would like to see them miss out on Champions League football. That and the shenanigans of the amount of money Bowley's been spending and the loopholes that are being exploited. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing them miss out. They're going to be in the Europa League anyway when they win the Conference League. So, would you give Darwin one more season than sell this summer? Seeing what Slot has done with his players, improved them drastically to the point where there's still hope for Darwin. I'm done with that clown, in all honesty. I was always done a month or two ago, but that social media post the day before the last game, before we win the league at Anfield, I feel that Arne brought him on just to make him look like an idiot. That's my take on it. And Arne's already worked with him for a whole season. And you can find many, many journalists who've written about he can't break through. He can't connect with Darwin. He can't get him to do what he wants. And you've seen in his little cameo yesterday why we're going to sell him. He was in a position where I could have set Mo up with a goal. You could have set Mo up with a goal. But Darwin overhits it and sends Mo too wide, and Mo has to scupper to recycle the ball. So no, there's no way back for Darwin. There's no chance. There's not even 1% that he stays. He is gone. He's out the door. He's been sold, and quite frankly, he deserves to be sold. That's the kindest I can be about it, because he has not endeared himself to me personally or to many others with some of the messages and social media posts, not taking responsibility for his own failures. Remember, the day before we won the league, he posted to say that post from Portugal about him not being played because of the 5 million, he said, now I know the reason I'm not being played, despite playing well in the last game. Well, the manager brought you on and made you look like a dickhead, because that wasn't the reason you weren't being played. You weren't being played because you weren't very good. So be honest about that with yourself, rather than trying to throw everybody else under the bus. Because whatever people think about me or others who maybe have gone in on Darwin occasionally, you can say the fans inside the stadium have not been behind that man every time. Always singing his name, always showing him support. And how does he repay that? Again, petulance. So, no, bye-bye Darwin. B or XDDS said, my tune is called League Champions. Even telling people to subscribe will be great. Well, do check out our friend's channel there, B or XDDZ. Check out the song. Let me know what you think of it. And again, appreciate you sharing, my man. And thank you. And I hope the channel goes well for you. Always happy to check out some musicians and some creative people, because as I mentioned, I have no creativity whatsoever. So I'm very envious. That overhit pass to Mo yesterday wound me up big time, said Nomad. Same for me, my man. It was so simple, you know. And look, I would have understood if he went himself as well to try and score, but to overhit it in the manner he did, it just summed up everything. I thought it was just an encapsulation of Darwin Nunez' entire career at Liverpool in that few seconds. Genuine question. If the bottom three weren't as bad, is there a genuine possibility Spurs United could have been relegated? No, I don't think so. No, I don't. But I still can't understand Ian Ladyman's shout for Bruno Fernandes to be Player of the Year. Because whatever way you want to dress it up, and there's no denying Bruno's carried that team to whatever extent you want to say they've been carried this year. But what if they lost 13, 14 games in the league? You can't make an argument for any one player to be Player of the Year when that player is captain of the team that's lost 13 or 14, a record amount of league games for that historic club. Like, I get his individual numbers were okay, but I don't understand it. And Ian Ladyman, to be fair, made a good job of trying to explain his decision-making process, and it's his vote to have, you know. He's a journalist and he's free to vote for who he wants, but I just don't get that at all. Jason said, 18 months, please may I show this off? Well, we appreciate you, Jason, being with us as 18 months, my man. And I did respond to your email that came in a while ago. I'm not sure if you've seen it yet, but I did respond to it, Jason, and thank you. Also, sorry, we've got some new merch up on the channel. I knew I was forgetting something. The link is pinned to the top of the chat, but these are some new items that we've put up there. Some 20 times stuff. So if you want to check it out, you can see, if you're looking closely, Anfield Agenda is written just underneath a few of the things as well. So yes, we do have those up. The link's in the description as well, if you want to check it out and get yourself some Premier League 20 times. And thank you to Connor for getting those sorted so quickly. How many games does Chiesa need to get a medal? He won't be able to do it from games played now. I think it's 10. 10 or 5, I can't remember. But either way, the club will get extra medals that they can allocate, and I fully expect him to get one. So I do think Fede will get a Premier League winner's medal. Saltman said, morning Craig, absolutely ecstatic that Liverpool won the title. Can't wait to meet you and celebrate Merseyside soon. I can't wait to get over. Honestly, got an update again this morning on ticket sales, and they've jumped up another lot. So again, if you do want to come and see us at either of these two shows, get your tickets. I'm not joking, that they're selling really well. The first show on the left is the last day of the season show, where they're going to be screening the game inside the venue. They're going to be opening doors at 11 a.m. The first 500 people get a free pint of Madri as well. Then they're gonna show the game at the venue on the big screens. I'm gonna do some bits and pieces during the day, and then we're gonna have our show that night in the theatre. And the other one on the right hand side, as you can see, is Chris, Connor, Craig, Steve, Jack, all together for one night only. Both those shows are priced at just £20. You can get your tickets with the QR code or the link in the description. I'm so excited to get over for both of them, honestly. Especially now that I have the Premier League trophy, and that is coming with us. So you'll be able to get a picture lifting that Premier League trophy. And we're bringing over a few mini Premier League trophies to give away as prizes for the best or most creative trophy lifts on the night. So look forward to seeing what you guys can come up with. Alisson should be the player of the year for the saves he's made. It's a difficult one. I'm torn. Like, player of the year has been an interesting one for me. Salah's probably the correct answer, but you can definitely make a Ryan Gravenberch argument. Late season, you can make an Alexis Mac Allister argument, but I do think Mohamed Salah is the right answer. But it was interesting on Match of the Day, they really leaned into quite what a difference maker they thought Ryan Gravenberch had been this season, which I thought was a fair point as well. Right, so we've got the officials now confirmed for the Chelsea versus Liverpool game, or as I like to call it, the Guard of Honour at the Bridge. Referee is going to be Simon Hooper. Assistant, Adrian Holmes and Simon Long. Fourth official, Tony Harrington. VAR, John Brook. And assistant VAR, Matthew Wilkes. Thank you, Mark, for that. So there we have those confirmed. So Lewis Steele has said, and again, to reiterate this, at this stage, nothing is officially signed regarding Trent Alexander-Arnold's future. So at this stage, nothing is officially signed regarding Trent Alexander-Arnold's future. That may mean something and it may mean nothing, but it's again just a confirmation that as of right now, there's no ink on a contract. Ian said, just got my Premier League trophy. Loads of people have been emailing me asking for the links. Honestly, they're on Temu. They're brilliant. I got a mini Champions League one and a mini Premier League one on there. And both of them really nice little things as well. Of course, I still have the big boy trophy here beside me, which every time I look at it, I just smile. Yeah, I know. Simon Hooper, not again. Alex, I swear, Mo, as soon as I seen that, I was thinking the same. So, Paul Joyce again confirming Liverpool want to keep Ibrahim Konate and get him to commit his future to the club. So I hope that we get that breakthrough soon, because nobody wants to see Ibu depart, but we know he's got 1 year to go in his deal and we know PSG are interested, so certainly hope the club can get their finger out and get that one sorted soon. And also with Lewis Steele again saying Slot will be backed with a big transfer budget this summer, and the club is expected to spend big to capitalise on this success. They want a left back, a central defender and a forward, while a midfielder could also be on the cards. Do you know what though? I'm just thinking, if we ended up with that, excuse me, a left back, a midfielder, a centre forward, and what was the other one they said? A centre back. I'd be okay with that. But then it depends on outgoings and how many we lose. I think Slot has to be manager of the year unless Forest finish top 4. Well, it's top 5, Kev, to get Champions League. And either way, I don't think it should matter. Arne Slot in his first year has come in and won the Premier League. That should be enough for him to win manager of the year. Nuno's job that he's done at Forest is absolutely outstanding and deserves recognition without a shadow of a doubt. But for Arne to do it in his first year, coming in after Jurgen Klopp, when so many people thought that he was going to be a lamb to the slaughter, I think what he's done deserves to be recognised. And personally, and I am biased on this one, I don't see any other manager coming close. The only thing is, if Arteta was to win the Champions League, you could make an argument there to talk about, which one of the two managers, because they're both astronomical achievements. But one of them is confirmed and one of them is, well, we'll find out, won't we, soon enough, because Arsenal are playing tomorrow, and we will not be live streaming tomorrow night, by the way. We're going to let everybody enjoy those PSG Arsenal games in peace. So tomorrow we won't be live streaming tomorrow night. So don't think there's anything up or wrong. We'll be back on Wednesday. We will have videos though going out tomorrow. Don't worry about that. Just won't be live streaming in a regular time frame. Still looking at that image of John W. Henry and Trent, trying to figure out if there's anything to it. It's defo got me intrigued. Andy Robertson, quote from him, said, "People say the league isn't as good as it was. It's nonsense. Obviously, the last one we worked so hard for, but we didn't get to have scenes like this, and it's so important to enjoy it with your friends, your family, and absolutely the fans in the stadium. So it was what we've been working towards since we've done it in 1920. I'm so glad we finally got it over the line." I love Andy Robertson as well. And they all looked like they were having a great time yesterday, which was really cool to see. And again, all the broadcasters, BBC, Sky, everyone that put out bits around it, I think they did justice to the day as well and what was in it. Some really good coverage from everybody yesterday. And virtually no signings as well. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I know technically we signed Fede and technically we brought in a keeper that's coming in the summer, but neither of them contributed this season, did they, for different reasons. So, yeah, just super impressive from Arna what he achieved. Xabi will be the next Madrid manager. It certainly looks that way. And again, we got that confirmation from Fabrizio Romano earlier on that said Carlo Ancelotti in Brazil have reached an agreement in principle. He'll become the head coach for the 2026 World Cup, deal valid from June. So, yeah, it looks like it will be Xabi Alonso to go in there. And let's wait and see with the Trent situation. Nomad said, "This season has shown just how good the mid-table clubs have been this season, that anyone can beat anyone." Look, if you look back at just numbers and points tallies at this stage of the season for previous winners in the last 3 or 4 years, we're right there where we should be. Again, this is just other people trying to undermine our success. And I don't really care what they have to say, because if they go to those lengths to try and undermine us, we're never going to win the round. They've no intention of being won around. So just ignore them and carry on celebrating. Slot won it in spite of the owners. Zero credit to FSG. I've seen a few rehashes of the old brave, bold decisions not to spend money, la la la. I really don't know how these people come up with this crap. Brave, bold decisions to spend. Who's to say that if we didn't spend, or we did spend a bit more, we may not have be still in the Champions League? It's all very well and good in hindsight saying, yeah, they were so clever and genius not to make signings, but it ran the risk of us not picking up an injury, and it ran the risk of our wheels falling off in other competitions, and we lost the cup final. We went out in the first knockout stage of the Champions League. So to me, nothing will ever say to me that we couldn't have maybe done a bit more with a signing this summer or in the winter. To try and make out like it was a genius move not to do that, I just think is a cop-out. What have we got? We have to mention the fans not running onto the field, the final whistle. Big up on all showing the best fans around. Yep, I mentioned that a few times, Kevin, and you're right. It was like I was watching the Wrexham game, as an example, the other day when they got promoted again. Straight onto the pitch, everybody. Everton, when they avoided relegation, fans straight onto the pitch. Liverpool win the league, and fans showing the class that they are, let the players, the staff, and their families enjoy that moment on the pitch. And it didn't surprise me at all, because, again, different fan base, built differently, class acts. The owners do deserve credit for bringing in the manager, but nothing more. Absolutely. 100% agree. They've brought us in 2 brilliant managers back to back, and they deserve the credit for that. Absolutely. 100%. Yeah, there's not even a book coming. Genuinely, they deserve the credit for that. No doubt about it. Joseph said, I like pitch invasions. Yeah, but it would have been a shithouse thing to do because those players waited so long for that. And they deserve the right to do what they did. Sit down on the pitch, observe, walk up towards the cop, link arms, sing with them, do a lap of honour, and everything else that was done. It was done the right way. And full respect to everyone inside Anfield yesterday. Tanya said, Andre from Wolves, another miss, is becoming good. Yeah, he's had a very good season. He has. He's had a good season. Started out a bit wobbly, but as the season's gone on, definitely gotten better. Paro said, Craig, what would your honest thoughts be towards the Trent situation if he does end up staying? Would you still be slightly angry for the way it's been dealt with? I do think he's gone, though. So, what would my honest feelings? Relief will probably be up there because, like I've said all the way through, I want him to stay. So I'd be happy that he stayed. I would probably question why he's allowed the club to be rinsed as much in the media. And at this stage, I would say I would feel it would have been a last minute change of heart. But ultimately, my feeling would be happiness because I want Trent to stay. We're a better team or better squad with Trent in that squad. But I do think it's been handled deplorably from his side. I think the club have protected him as much as they can, and that's understandable. But yeah, look, nothing is going to make me feel like he hasn't handled this situation well. I just don't think it's been dealt with well at all. But again, can only reiterate, want him to stay. But like yourself, I think he's off. And my big worry has always been, if he is off, then the stuff over the last couple of weeks, I think, has only given false hope to people who are going to be more upset. And that's going to lead to an unsavoury avalanche of posts that are going to make the extended fan base look bad. And that worries me as well. Which is why I always said, be upfront and honest. Early. Get it out there, like Kloppo did. Let everyone know what they're dealing with. And go from there. But, again, let's just wait and see. I've always not known anything on that situation. But others like David Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano, they still feel confident that he's heading off. I mean, I think... Where's this? Sorry, I'm still trying to find the comment here. So, he said, on right back, this is what David Ornstein said, right back will be interesting because they don't necessarily have that as a higher priority than left back. But if and when Trent Alexander-Arnold departs, and we expect him to join Real Madrid, that's the direction of travel. Maybe if there's an opportunity to add depth there, they will. So again, it still feels like those people who have had some information on this all the way through are sticking to their guns and think that he's going to head off. But until it's signed, sealed and delivered, it would be unfair of me or anybody else to say, let's wait and see. Matt Denny said the contract situation was an actual shit show, but we were so relieved Salah and VVD got that done and we just forgot. Well, let me say this on that contract situation. Not going to talk about the owner side of it. Not going to talk about anything else because I've done that to death. But I want to talk about Arne Slot for a moment. I think he gave a masterclass in how you deal publicly with those contract situations. Obviously, the players were able to be kept focused to as best the abilities as they could have been throughout the season. But I thought Arne Slot gave a masterclass in how to not add any fuel to the fire or how to not avoid it. Just up front with, we don't talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. Same answer. Players are focused. I thought that was a really good sign from him of what type of manager he is. And yeah, well played. A lot of stuff about Arna has just really impressed me this season. It's just a very assured individual. Did you watch the big fight Saturday night? Just watched it. What a war! I did, Chris. I watched it. It was technically, I thought it wasn't a great fight, but every other aspect of it was absolutely legendary. What I will say is, whoever you wanted to win that fight, Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn left everything in that ring, and nobody could have asked any more of them. That was, people talk about their family name and legacy a lot and talk about what they're going to do, blah, blah, blah. But that was a determination, a heart, and a warrior spirit from both of them that is a reminder of why sport and boxing in particular can be special. Because it mightn't have been a better Bivol with regards to class, but my God, they just stood and traded, and it was an epic spectacle. It was an epic spectacle, and I want to see it again. I don't know about everybody else, but I want to see it again because I thought the two men were absolute warriors, both of them. What toughness. Especially to do, the moment that sticks with me actually after that fight was a really heartbroken and dejected Conor Benn just hugging his dad. And that kind of hit me, that feeling, like, because, there was a winner in that fight, and you can see what it meant to Chris Eubank Sr. and the release there. But, there's nothing worse than feeling like maybe you've let your dad down or your mum down. And my heart did go out to Conor Benn in that moment as well. What is this? Philip Thomas said Trent should go. He's made a mockery of the club. I know players bigger than Liverpool, but he'll still never walk alone. Again, it's just getting to that point where a lot of Liverpool fans just have contract fatigue. We've got two of them resolved in a very good way. So I'll tell you what, though. Did you see Virgil? He doesn't show emotion very often, but, when he was interviewed yesterday, he spoke about the club, the city, why it's the best club in the world. Again, why it's Liverpool and always Liverpool. It was a little glimpse because we don't see much emotion from Virgil. But yesterday, he nearly choked up. You could see what it meant to him to be the leader of the club at that moment. And he is right. And I know we say it as fans. And I know people mock us for it. But it is different. Something about our football club and the way it carries itself, the way people are, it's just different. And I don't care how we get mocked for it. It is. And the players recognise that. Between his comments, Macca's comments, and so many others, the weight of wearing a Liverpool jersey isn't for everybody. It isn't. And Alexis Mac Allister, I think, summed that up really well in his comments, which, if you don't mind, I want to read out to you one more time. So, this is what Alexis posted onto Instagram. I never forgot where I've come from a family that taught me the value of hard work, from dreams born with an Irish surname and a truly Argentine heart. And today, from Liverpool, it writes an unforgettable chapter. When I joined this club, I knew it was a special place. But what I've experienced this year has gone beyond anything I ever imagined. Every training session, every match, every time I stepped onto the pitch at Anfield, I felt the weight of this shirt and the passion of a unique fan base. It took hard work, commitment, given everything and every moment, because wearing this shirt isn't just for anyone, and because I've dreamt of this since I was a boy. Today, lifting the Premier League with Liverpool is a dream come true, one that began many years ago and today becomes reality. Thank you to my family who were always there. Thank you to the club for believing in me. Thank you to football for giving me so much. And thank you to all of you for making it eternal. This is Liverpool. This is what it means to be champions. That is, you're made of stone if that doesn't hit you right in the feels. Like, that's I fucking love him. I just love Macca so much. He gets it. Like Virgil, he gets it. Mo gets it, you know? Um, and he stepped up again, as did Mo yesterday, but Macca stepped up in that moment when we needed him, edge of the box, and rifled one in. Cody followed afterwards, of course, as well, and Lucho got us the equaliser. But I think it was that Macca one for me that really hit the release valve yesterday for everybody inside Anfield and for all of us watching. Craig, can we count how many times Macca is fouled next season? I swear he gets fouled every game. You probably hear me mentioning it, Mukrab, during our watch-alongs, bro. He's always in the wars, isn't he? There's no denying it. He's always in the wars. But that's what I love him. He's never found wanting. He never goes missing. And he leaves it all out there. He is an absolute pit bull of a player, and I mean that in a complimentary way. I love everything about Alexis Mac Allister. Absolute mini Messi. He's just brilliant. What was that, Craig? Premier League trophy? You haven't lifted it in a few minutes? Okay, 1 second. You know, and this isn't just because I want to hold the trophy again. I'm just going to leave that here for a moment while I read through some comments. All right, sexy. Craig, interesting fact, bro, because we only 2 times Premier League champions, as they say, you know. That actually means United are 0 times Premier League champions because the name changed in 2016. Virgil got so emotional when singing You Never Walk Alone with the Fans, said Jason Irish Red. Got a leg breaker challenge and walked it off. Yep, he's just a little warrior, isn't he? I love him, genuinely. My next to-do list is a Macca signed shirt for the house, 100%. Hi. How are you? You well? You're looking well. Haven't seen you in a while. What? 5 years, I know. 5 years. But you're back home now. What was that? Thank God. What? You were busy. The last lad that lifted you up went off to say football. I know, he's done a great job, isn't he? He's over in Holland now at the minute. But don't worry. Ironically, we're going to have a Dutch man lifting you up next. What was that? And the bald lad? Yeah, but not me. The other bald lad. I'm going to put you back down now because, you know, I think the bits run to a natural conclusion, but love you. I'll be walking around supermarket, Tesco, everything with that trophy. It's already been to the gym and everything, unlike me. 1 second. I'm just going to put these back through because one of the ribbons fell off and we need them to be in proper order. There we go. How's the stomach after the broccoli? We're both trying to forget about it. Me and the stomach. What was the other one? You said that's resin. The chrome finish is freaking brilliant. Yeah, it's class. That's what I said. You know, it was expensive, but for a reason. If you wanted to know the metal one, the full metal, full replica version was over €3,000. Now, I didn't buy the full metal one, obviously. But yeah, that's how much the full metal version is. I also have a full-size Champions League one on the way now because I wanted to see what the quality of this one was like. So for any of our shows in the future, we're going to make sure that we bring the trophies along with us so people can have a bit of fun with them. We're still looking to get Cork booked in for August, so we're still trying to nail down the venue and grab a date there. And if there's anywhere else that you want Anfield Agenda to rock up for either a September or a November show, let us know because we have space in the calendar for one more show after Cork, I think. Craig's going to turn the trophy into his new bong. No, but I might get my mini Champions League one and turn that into one because I have a full-size one on the way, but I do have a half-size replica as well. Craig, where do you go to get Liverpool merch and flags and such? LFC store is slim pickings. Love from Texas. So the place that I used to go has just gone out of business. I only found that out on stream the other night. I used to go to xplayer.co.uk and that's where I've bought a lot of my signed jerseys and my my Istanbul medal and a few other bits and pieces I have. But other than that, it depends what you're looking for, to be honest with you, Hayden. I used to be part of a memorabilia business in the past, so I've got some decent contacts in that regard. But yeah, I would imagine right now it would be slim pickings because everybody's going to be wanting to buy merchandise and stuff like that. Weirdly, apart from the trophy, I don't really want to buy a T-shirt with champions on it or anything like that. It's not kind of my cup of tea, but because I feel I like stuff that ages well, and I don't think a T-shirt if it comes out a day too quick, if you get me. But that's my best answer. I'd need to know exactly what you're looking for, Hayden, and I could probably point you in the right direction. How much for the Premier League small? So this one, that one was like 13 quid, like probably in sterling about a tenner. And we've 10 of these to give away as well. 5 each night at our live shows in Liverpool for the best creative Premier League trophy lift. Because you best believe I'm bringing that Premier League trophy to Liverpool, the big one for the shows. The Liverpool Prophet said, Craig, how do you feel about football jerseys, bro? For me, it's a shame. I really want to wear Liverpool merch, but the material is so damn irritating on my skin. Excuse me. Look, for me, having man boobs and being fat, you become very paranoid in certain colours in particular with jerseys. Um, with regards to the material, yeah, look, there's a reason I have my sleeves and all pulled up, and I don't wear anything under hoodies, like, so I'm the same with certain materials, but I don't mind football jerseys, to be honest with you, material wise. But old school jumpers and stuff used to be horrible for me. Thinking of getting the Champions jersey framed, said Mike. Nice, nice. Just waiting for the Adidas cross gold badge. Yeah, look, I'm going to get the home shirt next season with the Premier League gold badge on it. And I'm going to get, if the green away shirt is true, or the green third shirt, I'm going to get that with the Champions League stuff on it. Letters Boxing said a lot of boxing this week. Yeah, it's coming into summertime now, and big shows coming up as well. I seen Usyk Dubois was announced for Wembley as well, which is going to be interesting. So yeah, lots of stuff coming up. Jay Mew said there are souvenir stands all over Liverpool. Get someone there to pick something up for you. Sports Direct as well. We'll probably have a few bits and pieces on there if you're looking. But you know what? There's some really cool individual, like, let's say, hat, scarf and a badge, or threads for Reds. There's some people. Like, I bought that white hoodie that everybody always asks me about, the one with the liver bird on it. I bought that off Threads for Reds, which is a Liverpool-based company that do all Liverpool merchandise and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd say look into those type of things. Threads for Reds, I can certainly say the quality of the stuff I got was top notch. Start preparing the Anfield Agenda 21 merch. Uncle Bob Slot gonna go on a roll. Well, look, we do have some brand new merch up, so if you want to treat yourself, you can check out the link that's pinned to the top of the chat as well. The black goalkeeper kit with the golden badge will be deadly. Have I shown you guys the goalkeeper shirt that's been leaked for next season? Hang on. Let me grab it out of my notes. Uno momento. Right, here we go. Right. So this hasn't been officially confirmed, but we believe this will be one of the goalkeeper shirts for next season. And this is a bit of me right here. Look at that. Look at that. That, my friends, is a goddamn work of art. That is sexy. I believe Madrid's one is going to be the very same. And then there's a couple of variations of it. But if that's true, and that's a goalkeeper's jersey for next season, this might be the first time in my life as an adult I buy a goalkeeper's top as well. Because that looks incredible. Now, gotta say, we can't confirm as of yet that is 100% it. But between that and these, if they're the type of kits and stuff that we're looking at for next season, then I'll be a very happy fan. Because I'll definitely be buying the home one and the green shirt if those ones are true. And then you can sign me up for that goalkeeper's one as well. Adam said, when you get the Champions League trophy, you could ditch the green screen and have two big trophies behind you. I'm team green screen for life, mate. Honestly, even if I move into a studio and somehow get the money to end up building one in the back garden in the future, I'm going to wrap the whole thing in green screen from start to finish. I love it. I am very much team green screen all the way. I just love how childishly creative you can be with it and how much stupid fun you can have with it. And we could still have the real trophies there physically with a green screen background as well. We can mix and match the two of them. Allison will suit that if true. Yeah, look, Allison will suit anything, to be fair. The man's an absolute Adonis. You know, he can pull off any shirt. Hate said, if we get Isak, we're untouchable for the next 2 to 3 seasons. I really hope we get a forward of the calibre of Isak or Alvarez, but again, let's wait and see. Muckrab said, might get it with long sleeves personally. Well, as you can see, I don't like long sleeves. Yeah, any top I wear, I have to pull up the sleeves on. I hate feeling restricted with sleeves. It just, yeah, I hate it. Even since I was a child, I always pull my sleeves up if I have a hoodie or anything on because it just feels horrible. So yeah, I wouldn't be a long sleeve jersey lover myself. 185 Australian dollars for one of those Champions kits that the team were wearing on Sunday. What? What? 185 Australian dollars. Now, I don't know the conversion rates, but I'm imagining it's about 130, something like that. That's awful. Do you know what? I'll be honest. I think they're ugly. I don't like the champions with the trophy and stuff on a jersey. I just don't think it looks right. Yeah, I've never been somebody that likes the champions printing on a jersey. It's just not my cup of tea, but that's a lot of dough. And then, ironically, they'll tell everybody not to buy any black merch and stuff. But yet still look you dead in the eye and charge that. £115 for the baseline one. Jesus. That's nuts, isn't it? That's a lot of money, isn't it? Especially if you've got kids or anything that want them, but yeah. Look, I say all this, but I know I'm going to be broke when Adidas officially put out the stuff. Daniel, appreciate you, my friend. Up the Reds. So, sorry, I have a bit of phlegm that just won't go away. I want to just make a little quick thank you announcement. We just set a channel record over the last 28 days because that's how YouTube measure these things. We've done 6.7 million views over the last 28 days, which is a channel record. And again, something where, sorry, let me reiterate that. We've done 6.7 million real views on YouTube because there are others who, well, I'm saying nothing. But yeah, wow, that's a record. And it could still keep going up because, you know, it changes every day. But just want to say thank you to all of you for that because it blows my mind to think about stuff like that. Yeah, appreciate you all for that. Everyone that watches, shares, clicks, comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't get stuck into numbers and stuff like that because I get scared when I start thinking about numbers that big. So yeah, just want to say thank you again for all of it. Never thought I'd be saying those numbers out loud. Ryan said, got my home kit with badges from €17 from a fake place and the quality is identical to the legit home one he has. Nice. So look, I've been over in Turkey on holidays, picked my son up a few of the kits as well because, again, I'm a human being who has bills like everybody else. But, you know, where possible, I'd always try to buy real stuff. But I think football jerseys are starting to become ridiculously expensive. And, you know, when you've got 3 a year plus other shirts as well that come out, it's It's a lot. Farkin said, how many signings do you think we will sign? And big up. Thank you, my friend. How many signings I think we'll sign? I think we'll do 5, but I don't know how many of that will be 1 in, 1 out. So I'm gonna guess 5. Yeah, that feels about right. 5, maybe 6. And I'm not talking about fringe young players. I mean first team players. 5 feels about the number, I think. Martin said amazing. That's why the channel's the best. Look, again, somebody sent me a side-by-side comparison of yesterday's 2 watch-alongs between ourselves and, let's say, our rivals. And it wasn't a competition. And that's because of you guys. Not because of me or anything else. It's because of you and the community. And it's always, I keep saying it, every time I meet anyone and I talk about the channel, they always pass comment on the community and how kind people are and how welcoming people are. And that's why I'm so proud to be part of this community. It's because you're all good people. So I do my bit, which is easy. I come on here and talk and answer comments. It's, I have no talent. I play off what you guys give to me. And yeah, so to see those numbers, man, it's just incredible. And thank you again for your continued support. Right, my friends, with that all in mind, I'm going to say goodnight and go record the news video. Now, this video is going to have some big topics in it. We're going to be talking Antoine Semenyo. We're going to be talking Diogo Jota and a possible destination. We're going to be talking Piero Nkapie. And we're going to be talking a little bit as well around Darwin Nunez and Atletico Madrid. So that video will be out in the next 20 minutes. So keep an eye out for it. Who would be a realistic attacker signing, said Farhan. Also, we're near 1,000 likes, so if you could hit a like, that would be really appreciated as well. If we can get up, we're at 804. If we can get up to 1,000, that would be amazing. Sorry, Farhan, I'd like Julian Alvarez, but without him, I think Hugo Ekitike is probably the smart bet. But again, wouldn't say anything with any level of confidence. Really don't know. But Julian Alvarez will be top of my list. So look, tomorrow, remember, no live stream. Tomorrow night, we're going to let everybody enjoy Arsenal PSG in peace. We'll be back on Wednesday. We'll have a news video out in about 20, a news video out at 4 o'clock tomorrow or so, and then we will catch you on Wednesday. But again, enjoy it, my fellow champions. Much love. And the broccoli video is up on the shorts, as promised. Enjoy it, be kind, and we will see you soon. Much love. Bye-bye.